Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today, oops, sorry. I have the worst tripod thing. It's like this arm and it's always moving. Anyways, I need to get a new one. So today I wanted to show you guys how to do the dashboard covers that I showed in like a few videos back now. These dashboard covers and the little pouches. These ones. Okay, so they're super simple, and I'll show you a technique to make this one actually a little bit better, but this is pocket XL size, and so it only fits like the lengthwise, it doesn't fit the horizontal way. But you can use the same concept to make whatever layout you want to. I love the pictures of the ones in the A5 where like they have the 4 of them. I'm sure like people purchase those, but still, anyway, so it's the same concept. So if you guys are interested in learning how to make this, just keep watching. Okay, so what you will need, and I will always forget to say, but I'll link the items that you need down in the description box below if you want to check it out after, so you can purchase the items if you need to. So what you're going to need is thermal laminating pouches. And I just use the Scotch ones. You can get like the Amazon ones. I just ordered these off Amazon, but you can get the Amazon ones. I don't think it really matters. And I would advise to get, what does it say? Can't seem to find where it says, but get the 3 millimeters. Is that what they call it? The 3 millimeter ones and not the 5 millimeter ones. And those are the two most common ones, but get the 3 millimeter ones because the 5 get a little bit too thick, I find. Whereas the 3 millimeter ones, after you've laminated, it's still kind of bendable, but it's enough to protect your dashboard. So that's what I would recommend. And then what you will need is a trimmer. I use the Fiskars one that I've shown in previous videos. I just really like the precision cutting here. And what I mean by that is like there's this metal wire that shows where you're cutting. And as well, I will show you in a minute, because I have to go upstairs to go get it, is the oh my gosh, what's the word? The laminating machine, the heating machine. Oh my gosh, it's totally slipping my mind, but I have the Scotch one, the same one that's on this photo, and I'll show you guys. I think it's starting to go a little bit wonky, but they're super affordable. Again, I'll link them down below, but you can use any one that you want, and I can show you a couple examples. Okay, so for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna just do it for my pocket XL size, but you guys can do it for whatever pouch size, whatever planner size you need, and it's really the same concept. It's so easy. Okay, so first let's start off with the planner dashboard, because I think that's the easier of the two, and it's super straightforward. So this is one of the laminating pouches, and you'll see that when you get one, it opens up and it's like taped on the one edge. And what you do is you usually put whatever picture or whatever you want inside, and then you close it up and then you slide it through your laminator. That's what it's called, the laminator. Oh my gosh. Okay, so first what you're gonna do is, and I would trim and keep the closed side because it'll make things easier for the purpose of the dashboard pouch. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna trim the size of your planner insert, but just slightly bigger. So for my Pocket XL planners, the inserts are 3.5 by 5 inches. So I'm just gonna cut it slightly bigger. So you'll see that my 5 inches here, and I'm just gonna cut it, let's say, instead of the 5 millimeter, I'm gonna go like, you know, the 2 ticks over. And I'll show you why that's important later. Okay, so I'm just gonna trim that. That's gonna be the length, right? And then I'm gonna do one of the width, which is 3.5, and I'm just gonna go slightly bigger than my 3.5, okay? Ooh, got a little excited. Hopefully this is still straight. Okay, so you're gonna keep that, and you'll see I kept the edge that's closed. And I'll show you why that's important. And I'm gonna make 2 of them, so I'm just gonna cut another one since I'm doing it already. And this is gonna be the same starting point for those card pouches as well. Okay, so that's gonna be the outer edge. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do that same process again. And this time you're just gonna cut it still a little bit bigger than your insert size, but a teeny bit smaller than the one that you just cut, okay? So example, back to what I was doing before. So my insert is 5 inches and the outer pouch I cut up like 2 ticks over, so like this one. And then this one I'm just gonna cut a little bit bigger, which is just gonna be that first tick, okay? Okay, trim that. And then what I'll do is go 3.5, but 1 tick over. Okay. And that's gonna be about the size of an insert. I should have taken out an insert to show you. Let me take out an insert quickly just to show you guys. Okay. So it's just slightly, ever so slightly bigger. Okay. So now what you're gonna do is, oops, sorry, that's not the right one. Take the one that you just cut, and this is the one with no edge because you used the edge on the outer shell. And what you'll find is, okay, so it's the 2 pieces because there's no edge, right? On the inside, it's gonna feel a bit more gritty. And the outside of the laminating pouches are very smooth, okay? And the gritty part, I think, is like the sticky stuff that when you put it through the heat is where it sticks together. So what you're gonna do is take that inner layer that you just made, the second piece, and you're gonna open up the pouches and put the 2 smooth sides together, okay? And it's gonna be a bit hard to keep them together, but what you could do if you really want to is take a piece of tape, just a little trick, and do a little double-sided action here. And stick them together. Sometimes the heat makes it a bit weird, so I don't know, you could try it with that or do the best you can without it. But I have done it with the tape together and it did make the pouches a little weird, so if you can try without it, it's better. But line them up the best you can, and it really should be quite aligned, or else your pouch is going to be a bit weird. It's going to be off, okay? And what you're going to do is open the outer pouch and you're going to lay it inside here. Again, keep it aligned. I might have to do this off camera. Just want to show you the concept, okay? So once you lay it together, what's going to happen is you're going to have, when you open it up, you're going to have your outer layer, then you're going to have the inner layer that you put, and the first 2, the scratchy part is facing each other, and then it's going to be the 2 clear parts, and then 2 scratchy parts and your outer layer, and it should all be lined up. And I'm gonna have to do this off camera, but I just want to show you guys what to do, okay? And you're gonna line that up and have it sit like that, and I'll take you guys to the laminator and show you what to do after you put it through the laminator. Okay, so that's one. Okay, so now the second one I'm going to do is for the cards, the little business cards. And these business cards, this is just one that I randomly made, but typically business cards are about 3.5 by 2 inches. And how I'm gonna want mine to fit is, because I'm gonna have it in Pocket Excel, mine's not gonna fit horizontal because obviously the ring holes need to go here. So I know that my pouch is gonna fit my business card this way. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the inner pieces similar to the way that we did for the dashboard boxes. And I'm gonna cut something that's the height of my card, which is 3.5. and the width of my planner insert. And you might be wondering why I'm going to cut the full width instead of just doing it this way, and I'll explain after why. They're like the best way to do it would be to do it exactly the height of this, but I find I can't get it to work properly. So if you're a beginner and you're just trying it out for the first time, I highly recommend doing it this way. Okay, so that's 3.5 inches by, because this Pocket XL, it's 3.5. So I'm going to cut my insert for the inside. I'm going to cut it just slightly above so that when I try to slide in my card, it's going to fit. So it's going to be slightly above 3.5. And this way, you just want to cut it a little bit bigger as well. Okay. So I'm going to use some pieces that I have, some scrap pieces, and I would recommend that you keep your scrap pieces of the laminating pouches that you make, because you can take these and, for example, use it for another project, or like turn these into bookmarks and stuff. There's a lot of things you can do with it. So don't throw them out. This one's going to be a bit small, but it's got lots of scraps. Okay. So I said just over 3.5 for the height. I'll just do one notch over. And for this way, where I'm doing the width of my insert, it's supposed to be 3.5, but this one I'm going to do a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 notches for this one. Okay. So I know this can get a bit confusing, and trust me, I've made plenty of mistakes myself. Okay. Just trying to see which way fits the best, just because for mine it's 3.5 by 3.5. See how it's like not straight? Okay, so just pretend that it is straight. I'll do another one. I don't know why it didn't chop it straight, or maybe it's just on camera is not looking straight. Okay, so now I know that's gonna fit that like this. And if you can envision, once it gets made, you're gonna be able to slide your cards in here, and you're gonna be able to put it here or here or here, okay? So, same thing, what you're gonna do, take this, the inner pieces, turn them around, and put the slippery side together. And then you're gonna open up your pouch. And this time, they're obviously not gonna line up exactly, so you're gonna have to place it kind of in the middle, or where you envision that you want your pouch to be. Like maybe you do want your pouch to be at the bottom, I don't know, whatever you wanna do. I like mine to be in the middle, so you place it inside. Again, what you're gonna end up having is you're gonna have your outer shell, and it's gonna be slippery on the outside, kind of that rough on the inside. Then you're gonna have another piece, the inner piece where you turn inside out, the rough piece against the rough, then you're gonna have a slippery, 2 slipperies against each other, and then the back, which is the rough against the rough and the slippery on the outside. Okay, so now you have your two types of pouches, and we're gonna run these through the laminator, and then I'll show you how they become pouches. Okay. Okay guys, so this is the laminator I was talking about, and it's the Scotch one that looks like the same as the picture of the laminator pouches, and they don't have to match. I just so happen to have both, but they don't have to match. They all work the same. And I've had this for, I think, about a year now, and it's okay. Now it's starting to get a bit finicky in terms of it messes up a little bit sometimes, but I mean, for like $35 or something Canadian, like, I've done a lot with it. So I do recommend it, and it comes with the 2 settings, so that you just turn that on, and they have the 3mm and the 5mm. I put it on 5 now because we're double laminating basically, because we have 2 pouches together essentially. I just put it on the higher setting. And so all you do is you take your pouch, you slide it in the back, and it goes through, and this can take up to letter size, and then it just comes out this end, and it's laminated the pouch together, so it turns into like a clear color. Okay, and I'll show you how that becomes a pouch. And so I'm just going to do that with the rest of them, and then I'll bring you back downstairs and show you how that pouch turns into a dashboard cover. Okay guys, so I'm back. It's actually a different day because I had a bunch of mess ups because I was trying to do a whole bunch of them at once for both the Pocket XL and the A6, just because when I have the laminator out, like I just want to do them all at once. But anyway, so I ran into a few issues, and it's actually good because now I have some examples to show you of what you might encounter, and hopefully that'll help you guys. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you guys is, so I have a few of the ones that we talked about earlier on how to cut them and whatnot. So for example, this one is the one with the card holder. And so for this example, you'll see that, hopefully you can see that because of the clear background, it might be a bit tougher, but you'll see that I put the pouch to the edge, and because I put it right to the edge, I didn't need to cut anything because the hole was just open. Whereas if I had put it all the way through, which I think is what I had in my earlier example, it'll be something like this. Well, you'll see that you can't open it, right? Because it seems like it's sealed, and what you just need to do is cut the one side so that it opens up to the pouch. This one I kind of messed up. You'll see if sometimes there's stuff in your pouch that you didn't clear out, it's going to bubble. So what I'll just do is I'll just slit one side open, and that's why we made this a little bit wider than what the insert size is, so that you have that room to do that cut. So this is for my A6. So A6 is about 4.1 inches. So what you would do, what I would typically do is just go to the edge where you see that the second pouch is and just cut there. So you see I just cut a little bit past where I saw that the second pouch is lined up on the inside. And now you can open it up, and there's your pouch. And this becomes your dashboard cover, right? So that's an A6 size. Then you had that example where I showed you where you can put it off over to the middle a bit more. And then obviously you just can't slide everything all the way back, but that's another example you can do. So this one I slid it a bit further. Again, I lined it closer to the edge so that I wouldn't have to make the cut. Here's an example of the clear cover for Pocket XL. For this one, I don't have to do the cut again because I lined the edge, the inner edge, the inner pouch edge to the outer pouch, if you recall. And just so you guys understand how it works, like if you recall, and you can scroll back in the video if you need to look at it again, is when we lined it up, we had the inner pouch, the two glossy sides against each other to create the pouch, because the glossy side is the side that doesn't adhere, like there's no adhesive, so it doesn't stick to each other, whereas we put the outer pouch adhesive against the inner pouch adhesive to create that wall. Does that make sense, guys? Probably not explaining it well, but I'm sure you get what I mean. A couple other issues you might run into. So for example, this is an A6 size, and this one, it's not necessarily an issue, maybe you like it like this, but the inner pouch, the top part and the bottom part were both really close to the end, so it created a file folder type effect. If you want the top side to stick, you have to make the inner pouch a bit smaller so that the outer edge adhesive sections can stick to each other. Do you know what I mean? So I don't mind this either, because then you can just slide it in easier, and you can do the punches on this side, or you could do the punches on this side and have it slide in this way, whatever you want. That's another example. This is again A6, and this has the double pouch. Now for this, I had the inner pouch, the width of it, sticking out at both sides, so it just created a clear hole. Whereas if I had made the inner side a little bit smaller, this would have closed up, and it would have just opened to this portion. I hope that makes sense, guys. If you guys have any questions, you know, I'm always happy to respond to comments and stuff below, because obviously my channel is tiny, so I have the capacity to respond to comments. So if you have any issues, just let me know. And other things that you can run into, oh, here, got hair here, sorry, is like this happened. If the roller in your laminator sometimes catches it wrong and it gets stuck, you gotta yank it out. So I destroyed that. And that's the thing with my laminator I'm finding now that I've had it for about a year. Like the roller sometimes catches it funny and it gets stuck, which kind of sucks. And then one other issue that you might run into, and I actually threw the examples out, was I don't know if it was like my pouches I screwed up or what it was, but you've sometimes come across an issue where you try to cut it, like you trim it off, and then you notice it doesn't open, like it's just completely all sealed. And the problem with that is because you didn't turn the inside pouches against each other in the back, so that the two slippery sides are against each other, and so everything that's just got adhesive together. So watch out for that, and that's how you got to make sure that you flip those inside out. Okay, and so yeah, afterwards then you come up with the dashboard covers like this. I usually just punch it and then slide it in, or you can put your dashboard inside and punch both of them because it's pretty thin at the 3mm. And yeah, so that's how you do that. It's actually pretty simple. Here's an example of the pouch with the cards. Okay. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Again, I've linked all of the materials that I used down below in case you're looking to purchase them. Like, it's a pretty good investment for how much stuff you can make, considering if you buy these on its own, like it's so much more expensive. Yeah, so if you liked the video and learned something from it, please give this video a like because it really supports my channel, and consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!